Hello friends and welcome to episode 735 of the ChairShot Podcast. We are back once again in our 15th year or 16th year, but we're still ticking along. We are back again. Barry is not with us because he is live on the scene in Germany at WXW 16 Carat. He's whisked the wife away on a lovely weekend of German independent wrestling. She's a lucky woman. So they've been enjoying that. But Paul and I are here to cover everything else that's happened in the wrestling week and a little bit of movies, TV, and other bits as well. You all right, Paul?
I'm very good. I'll tell you what, I only had 2 carrots today, so Barry has me beaten by 14.
I also had 2 carrots. That's crazy.
Look at that synchronicity.
It's 4.
I tell you what I've got really into lately, Joe.
What's that?
Is I don't buy the frozen chips anymore.
Oh, okay.
I buy the bag of spuds, and I get the big knife out.
Yeah.
Chop into chips, and I have my little routine and recipe down to a science.
So how are you making these chips? Have you got a fryer?
I have an air fryer.
The old air fryer.
The old airy. So listeners, if you are still buying the old frozen Tesco chips, get your notepads out because I'm going to tell you how to do it, right? So I get is it Maris Piper?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rowdy Maris Piper tatties, right? I guess the size of the knife doesn't matter, but I use a big old cleaver, big old knife. And I cut them into, I would say, quite big, quite chunky chips.
Right, yeah.
Because there will be some shrinkage.
Oh, ladies.
So if you cut them too small, you'll have little wispy little spaghetti chips.
Tiny little fragments, yeah.
So I would say I probably cut them a good centimeter both ways. So they're a good centimeter, maybe even centimeter, good chunky ones, right? Chop. I'll tell you, lately I started with the skin on, and I like the skin on. Lately I've been doing skin off. I've been getting even better results. I don't peel them in advance though. I just chop off the tiny little sliver at the end. I do like Master Chef shit, right? Ninja chips, right?
And he's got an air fryer, so that's ironic.
I don't even. I got it in Aldi.
He's got an Aldi one. It's fine.
Aldi one does the job.
Same stuff.
If there's a tiny bit of skin left on, don't worry about it. Just leave it.
Rustic style.
Rusticky. So I've got my, for the moment, like 99% skin off chips cut up now, right?
Yeah.
I've probably got, usually I'll just cut one potato is enough for a serving. If the potato isn't sizable, maybe find a little small potato from the bottom of the bag and do yourself a little extra. Into a bowl of cold water for 20 minutes.
It's on the cold water,
That's taking out the extra starch. That'll give you a better crispy chip at the end.
I know you would.
If you don't put it in the water and you don't get the starch out, you'll have a soggy, sad chip. And I don't like a soggy, sad chip. I only like my sex soggy and sad. I don't like my chips that way. So,
like sex hot and crispy, like just chips with vinegar on.
And unlike the sex, the chips are going to take 20 minutes. So make sure you leave them in that bowl for 20 minutes. Put the little timer on the phony. Don't even look at them. I'll say 10 minutes in. Just leave them for 10 minutes. 10 minutes in, get the hands in there and give them a little rummage.
No.
Give them a little, not a squeeze necessarily, but a little movement. Little zhuzh. Get some movement in there. After 20 minutes, you pour the excess water into the sink.
Right.
You think you're done. You're not done.
No.
More water in on top. Just for 5 minutes. 5 extra minutes just to...
Yeah.
You know. After that 5 minutes, pour the water out again. Get your kitchen roll, if you will, and just lay the chips out on there because you want to dry them.
Yeah.
You don't want any excess water on top of them. So dry them out, pat them down with the paper.
Yeah.
and you want nice, as dry as they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've dried them, and look, you're not killing yourself to dry them, but just, you know, what I do is I put a 2-layer of, or 2, what do you call them, plies of kitchen roll. Yeah. I laid the chips out on it and another 2-ply on top and just kind of press them and throw away the kitchen roll into a bowl, into the freezer for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to freeze it a little bit. Freezer for 10 minutes, just to harden a little bit.
Okay.
Out of the freezer, a tablespoon of olive oil.
Ooh.
Extra virgin if you can get it. That's not my preference. That's literally the only one I had in the house. I didn't even buy it. So tablespoon of that on top. Get your hands dirty again. Get in there and
mix it all up.
Spread it over. You want the chips to be fully covered.
Coat them.
Yeah. You're using your hands for that. So you're going to have also coated hands in a second. So you'll make sure you have make sure you tore off an extra kitchen towel because you're going to need that for your hands.
That is.
And then into the air fryer at 200 degrees Celsius. It's Fahrenheit equivalent is fucking 400 or something.
For about 4,000. Yeah.
Put it to the highest temperature your air fryer goes to.
Yeah.
And put the chips in, and they will take about 15 minutes. Don't touch them for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I tell you, a rookie error people make with their air fryer chips is they put the chips in, they're fucking shaking it straight away.
Yeah.
That's where you get your chips falling apart, breaking.
Disaster. Get them a little bit cooked to keep.
You need them to get a little bit cooked and a little bit hard before you start shaking them, or it's gonna be a disaster. So after 5 minutes, give them a little shake. They'll probably only take another 10 minutes, and then it's to your preference. I like them a little on the well done side. I don't want them, burnt, but one thing I don't like is an undercooked chip.
No, you don't.
The worst thing you can have is a chip that's been in there 2 minutes too,
and it's
too early.
It's kind of sad. It's just
sad, soggy, a little bit mushy. So I would say leave it in maybe.
I mean, I'll still eat it. I still fucking eat it, but that's,
whatever. But
chuck it in.
And then that's how you do it. I mean, God, I should have taken a picture today there. So
that's good stuff. You don't find this kind of dedication to chip making these days as much as you did. I was listening to the Off Menu podcast with James Acaster at Gamble. They had Stephen Graham on, a wonderful actor. He was talking about, I think it was his Auntie Pat or his Auntie Pam's chips, and how everyone always had like an auntie or a mum or a nan that would make chips properly with like the chip pan. Obviously air fryer is a lot more sensible these days, but back in the day, before they banned kitchen fires, you used to be able to use a chip pan. So you'd have a big old chip pan full of oil going at all hours of the day, put chips in there, and it would make the best chips you ever had. You're not getting that kind of level these days.
No,
I think you're doing as close to that experience as you can without melting your kitchen down.
That's the thing is I will admit readily that a proper deep fat fryer will do you a nicer chip than an air fryer does. But then you have to consider two things. Number one, do you like your kitchen and do you want it to survive? Yeah. And number two, do you like being alive?
Yeah.
And do you want to survive? I'll throw in a bonus recipe here because I don't only home make my chips, I home make my burgers as well. I find for a George Foreman grill, which I use, I find the best fat percentage is in the 9-10%.
Okay.
I find too high. Like if you watch any YouTube tutorial, typically American, they make good burgers over there. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you like minimum 20%.
20%?
Minimum. Or they do like 30% over there.
There's meat in there. Fuck
yeah. Now, I will say for a barbecue, you want to go 18, 20.
Sure.
Because a lot of that's going to melt off anyway in the barbecue. George Foreman grill, I don't know what it is, but the 20%, 18% burgers, it doesn't come out.
No.
5% or 4% fat burgers, I just don't think are flavorful enough. I think they come out very dry as well. 9%, 10% burger for your George Foreman grill is I find ideal.
Yes, yeah.
If you want to, by the way, with the chips, season them. I'm not a huge seasoned chips guy. I've had rosemary chips over there in Blighty, and they were lovely.
Yeah.
But I will typically not season them. I'll just use some low sodium salt after they're cooked.
Just a bit of salt. That's what I need.
I'm not putting any salt in the water when they're.
No,
I'm not putting any salt when the oil's going. I'm not seasoning them at all. Burger. Here's my tip for a burger. We're going to get to the show eventually. Sorry,
this is the show.
This isn't even on the rundown.
This is
20 minutes of cooking tips. The way I do my burger is cut off usually about 150 grams of ground beef.
Mm-hmm.
And I will kind of pull it apart. I don't just roll it into a ball. I pull it apart. So then you have a chopping board with like loads of strings of burger on it. And that's when a little bit of low sodium salt, a little bit of pepper onto the, viscera. And then roll it into a ball. Because now it's seasoned throughout.
Yeah, I don't think you need salt and pepper is enough.
Salt and pepper. That's
adding too much more. You want to taste the beef.
I don't use egg. I don't use onion.
You don't need it. You just want the good beef.
Nice
if you've got good quality beef, a little bit of seasoning is going to bring out the flavour.
There you go. And shape it into the George Foreman grill. Only takes about 5-6 minutes on the grill. You can kind of eyeball it. How well?
Big time. Yeah.
And then the carrots, just fucking peel them and chop them.
Just do some carrots. Yeah.
I don't cook my carrots. That's the only thing. I eat them raw.
You don't cook? Yeah.
I don't. I like a raw carrot. I like a crunchy carrot.
I had carrots today. I actually did like mashed carrots today.
Oh,
so I mashed them up. You obviously got to boil them a lot because carrots are like fucking hard. So they need a good like 25-30 minutes of boiling. Then butter, pepper, salt, garlic, and some chives, and just mashed that up into a lovely little, not like a fine mash, just like a rough kind of. Smashed.
I know.
Yeah, and they were very nice because you're getting all the butter and the seasoning in there. And it's just boom, flavor.
Yeah, I like a chopped up raw carrot. So I don't just bite it like Bugs Bunny, but I like chopping it into little discs or whatever, and then just eat them like crisps.
Pure nutrients from that. So that's good. Ooh. That's very good.
So that's what I had for dinner today, ladies and gentlemen.
You're listening to the Food Shop Podcast. Fries. But
do we want to get to the actual?
Well, we got some wrestling news here. You've lined up for us, Paul. Do you want to kick off with the agenda?
We'll run through. Yeah, I mean the first item on the agenda is a little bit, still as we record here, a little bit vague as to what's actually going on. The word is that long-time CSP reference
correspondent,
of sorts, Conan ain't well. The word is, at best, he's ambiguously unwell. Mm-hmm. At worst, there's been a leg amputation. He's on death's door.
He had a leg off.
It's kind of all over the place, and there hasn't been any real confirmation that I've seen from any sources that you would consider as kind of ironclad. So obviously, first of all, we wish Conan well. We've obviously had an interesting relationship with Conan. I don't want this to be like an obituary, of course, because for all intents and purposes, the chap is still on the go.
Still going.
But not nice whenever this happens to anybody, especially, I spoke about Lucha Underground a few weeks ago, and the episode was the one where Brian Cage, in the main event segment, attacked Prince Puma and Conan, tore the belt. Remember that? Conan did a gig ski. And I mean, certainly in that season 1 of Lucha Underground, Conan was one of the highlights, I would say, along with obviously Dario Cueto and all the more exciting luchadors, but character-wise,
He was very good. It's a shame. I didn't know until I read that news this week. He's actually Cuban-American. I assumed he was Mexican. But Cuban mother and a half Jewish, half Puerto Rican father.
So, he's gone by a few names as well, I believe. Carlos Espada, Charles Ashenoff, K-Dog, Boom.
Yo. But, this barrio.
That's the thing, right? It's like, I've always thought on screen that he's a really, really tremendous, I'd hesitate to say wrestler, but performer.
He's charismatic.
Charismatic. Might be that most of the Conan wrestling that we're familiar with past his prime, let's say. Obviously, he in his literal Conan the Barbarian days, in his Mexican heyday, I've not seen any of that, so I can't speak to that. But a really great, certainly in his latter years, I would say, manager, LAX manager, obviously, promo. His Rey Mysterio Hall of Fame induction was very acclaimed. I would question some of the company he keeps. Certainly in his latter years, seems to surround himself exclusively with bozos. But look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna not wish that on anybody. So hopefully that Conan will be okay. And it's kind of like when you're watching a rival football team and you say, I don't want anybody to be seriously hurt, but if they a little injury, take them out for a few weeks. So I'm going to say I hope Conan kicks out and is okay, but if the injury would be sufficient to the point that he wouldn't be able to do his podcast anymore, we'll take that.
Oh yeah, if I take the voice box. Oh no, it's a shame.
So get well
soon, Conan. You old cunt.
You interesting cunt. I believe
interesting old cunt.
Boom. What are you calling me? A jack off?
I think that's what set him off, to be honest. That was what set him on the
that's his
path of ill health when he was called a
That's
cunt.
his villain origin story. Was it? Some idiot Irish twerp
on the internet called him a cunt and he never recovered from it.
That's something we have to explain for our newer listeners as well. I mean, again, on Barry's Discord, there was talk in the week about people were asking what was the backstory to me asking Dave Meltzer if Mankind and Kane are still around. Like, what was that all about? Because I think we referenced that last week. I tweeted Conan, I want to say, 2012, 2013?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, bloody years ago.
I think I listened to this. I think this was before he even started doing his own podcast. I think he did some guest appearances on WrestleZone radio. This is how long ago it was. And I was like, I think I just tweeted something like, Conan, what an interesting cunt that guy is. And he was like, welcome, cunt, what are you talking about, jack off, boom. Now, this is before Conan would tweet everybody, do you listen to my podcast? So I thought, I need to find that tweet. For it's a funny reference that we talk about from time to time.
We're going to start dropping these clips from the vault as if we're like WWE putting up house show.
Well, we suddenly found the Jinder I Want a Banana last year.
Yeah.
That was the ultimate. That was like Bret Hart, Tom McGee.
Yeah.
We finally unearthed that one. But yeah, get well soon to K-Dog. Speaking of dogs, the dogs are signed to AEW, which includes Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, and the debuting David Finlay, who appeared on Dynamite this week.
With the shillelagh ready for the old action figure there, the David Finlay plus shillelagh.
Very toyetic. Yes.
Interesting one. A lot of speculation about where he would end up, and a lot of people assumed because of his dad it would probably be WWE.
And his brother is NXT as well.
Of course, his brother in NXT. Seems as though he was offered you can start in NXT and work your way up to the big leagues, brother. And he said, that doesn't work for me. Which, to be fair, like, I've not seen loads of David Finlay. I've seen him in New Japan a handful of times, probably when he was in AEW years ago. Yeah. Not like I'm particularly an admirer of his work, but he's clearly someone who's built a big body of work in Japan and elsewhere. He's not a kid. And he seems, maybe he's not a big, he's not one of these people that's going to, I'll go to WWE, I don't care, I'll be anywhere, I'll clean the toilets as long as I can be in WWE,
Right.
It seems like he's going to get as good or better money from AEW, and he gets to be on TV every week. And
that's the thing, right? I mean, I haven't seen, I've when I watch Wrestle Kingdom or the G1, that's my David Finlay exposure. Yeah. I mean, the word is from people who watch that he's really improved the last couple of years. I think, 22, 23. I was someone who was like, yeah, he's okay. It doesn't wow me. But again, the word is that the last few years he's had, a little bit more consistent performances. I mean, we've seen this with a few people now that they've gone to WWE, and that's their dream destination, right? Mariah May, obviously the quintessential example. And look, if that's what you want ultimately, then, the whole thing is, I want to be on a WrestleMania, I want blah, 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 blah. Then the path is, unless you're Danhausen for whatever reason, the path is you go to NXT and you kind of start from scratch and build your way up. It's that's their model, it seems like. I'm not sure what age David Finlay is. I would imagine he would have to be 35.
34-ish, yeah, I would have thought so.
Where pull up on 32 only. Okay, so maybe he was at an age where he probably could have gone to NXT, but
then you mentioned the Danhausen example, Jade Cargill. We're seeing now with Hobbs as well. Like Hobbs didn't go to NXT, he went straight into the Royal Rumble.
The stories coming out now are like they have nothing for Will Hobbs.
Yeah, now he's
like he debuted a month and a half ago. Like
he's done nothing. But then why those three over, Finlay or a Mariah May or even Ricky Starr, all those people could be on main roster. It's the weird thing. I mean, you're right to say, this is their model. They want someone to go into NXT. They train you in the WWE, fucking cult way, and then you might get up to the roster. But we're also seeing a WWE where they've got so many kind of tired, aging acts on television. I mean, Randy Orton and CM Punk are in the WrestleMania main events. Two guys that were at WrestleMania, 17 years ago. I mean, it's not like they're bursting at the seams with
2007, I think, would have been the first one with both of them. Yeah. So we're talking about 19 years ago.
Getting on for 20 years. Cody's obviously still at his peak. Roman's kind of in that part-timer era. But yeah, what is the patience for not putting these people straight on TV when they could do fresh acts? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the side effect of WWE being, for a very long time, the only show in town, right? I mean, if you cast your, let's say WrestleMania 17, the peak of the Attitude Era, you can imagine that being main evented by two guys from like 1983.
Yeah.
Like that. It's just a thing that doesn't really happen anymore.
No.
But yeah, Orton and this is actually, we'll jump straight into explain and hang on a second. Let me rub my temples here. I've got some fucking pondering to do. Undertaker. And the explaining the Undertaker is kind of on this top. Not so much in regards to Dave Finlay, but in regards to what you were saying about how they seem to be a little bit stuck in a repeating spin cycle. And the AEW connection here is regarding Cody Rhodes, who won the WWE title on SmackDown this week, to seemingly overwhelmingly negative fan reaction. Because it does seem like since what do we want to call it, the bloodline era, even the word era I don't really like to use now, but that period of time where WWE was hot.
Bloodline and Cody Rhodes boom, which was really WrestleMania 40, 41.
Yeah.
Or 39 to 40, 41.
39 to 40.
Yeah.
Seems like
Cena, and then Cena kind of elongating it with his final run a little bit, but yeah.
His very, very good run.
It's denouement.
Oh, I can't hear me winking, sorry. You go with pile of shite. Because this is the thing, right? It seems like ever since then, WWE, certainly ever since, you make a good point, the Cena heel, the bodged Cena heel run, seems like they're playing very, very safe lately. Very safe. Go with the tried, trusted, fucking Orton, Cody. Now, the pushback to the Cody win is because people thought Drew McIntyre was doing a bang-up job.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's being undercut to get it back on Cody, to have a feud with Randy Orton that no one's really asked for.
Yeah.
Punk Roman, on the other hand, the feedback has been very good to their promos. I did watch one of them. I thought it was good. But the problem with less so Roman, more so CM Punk, is every feud he's had in the last 2.5 years has been, well, you were gone for 10 years. I was here running the place and every single feud is that. So I'm a little bit tired of that. But it's interesting with Cody Rhodes because obviously we as AEW fans recall 2021, Cody Rhodes, and this also ties into the Hangman stip for the upcoming pay-per-view. Cody Rhodes, self-imposed I can't be the world champion stipulation.
Yeah.
And then the last year when he was involved in some really odd feuds, and the fans started to push back on Cody as the big babyface. Goes to WWE. He's the hottest thing in years as babyface there. 2 years in, because this is, okay, he debuts 2022. 2 years in, wins the world title. They really stretched that out.
Yeah.
Lost famously at 39.
Yeah.
And now, 2 years post winning the title, the fans are kind of sick of him.
Yeah.
Same routine.
So I think it's not, it's just kind of inevitable when you have a big baby face and they win the belt. They're not going to be on top forever. I've been listening to the Lapsed Fan recently when I've been doing my kind of big walks.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the Mania, WrestleMania tour. And I've just done like 6, 7 and WrestleMania 8. And it's Hogan. It's the kind of end of the Hogan era, which was only like 3-4 years. 3-4 years that Hogan was on top, and then the fans started to sour and
to go to Warrior.
Rumble 92, he started to get some boos, and they feuding with Sid, and it's just inevitable. Like I don't even necessarily think it's a problem with Cody or he's doing something wrong, but when you're on top as a babyface for like 3-4 years, people are going to get sick of you. That's just the nature of the beast.
I mean, especially if you're being pushed as like the top guy.
Yeah. It's just, it doesn't last that long. These runs last a few years and then people go, I'm bored of that. And people criticize, wrestling fans are so fickle. Well, it's entertainment. You watch something for a few years and then you want something else. That's the nature of entertainment. You can't be the top guy for 10 years. I mean, Cena was, but people fucking rejected him and booed him and half the audience was like, couldn't stand him. You know what I mean? But they didn't give a shit and they didn't have any competition, so they just persevered with it. But I just think it's natural. So either Cody goes away for a while, he turns heel, or he goes back to AEW, which is not going to happen because he's on a contract. But you know what I mean? Like, those are the only options. You either leave or you turn heel. And the whole Drew thing, I don't know. People kind of think that Drew's going to get this big push, and they just like, I don't think WWE thinks that highly of Drew McIntyre. He could be a challenger and he can be a kind of like a heel foil, but it's not like
it's to your point about WWE going back to WrestleMania 6, 7, 8. WWE has always been a babyface company.
Yeah.
Where NWA in the 80s and going back, we're a heel company, right? Flair on top,
Vader.
Harley on top, Vader. WWE going back to Bruno has always been the babyface, and you cycle in heels for the babyface to beat. And so that model maybe is not necessarily consistent with the modern,
or it can work. But again, it's not going to work for 5 years. It'll work for 2 years, and people get sick of it. You cannot be Bruno Sammartino and hold it for 7 years.
I think I said at the time when he was in AEW, I think Cody's personality also lends itself to people kind of getting tired of him a little bit. He's a little bit, I don't know, inherently kind of smarmy, right? He's got a little bit of that to him that, I don't know. I think it inevitably rubs people the wrong way. So I think a heel turn is probably in his near future. The problem is who then becomes the big new babyface. Because Cody has only, compared to Cena for so many years, Roman Reigns, obviously in the 2010s was a bust. But then when he turned face, that's something that doesn't get talked about, by the way. Roman turning face after the bloodline sort of being a bust as well. As like John
happened, to be honest.
I think it's because he's part-time that he's kind of here and there. But he never really exploded as a big force. Interesting. I don't know what the story is with all that. It does seem like, as we talked about, WWE have kind of, not completely, but have lost a lot of that goodwill during that boom period where it seemed like they could do no wrong.
Yeah.
And now WWE fans are getting a little bit, you see more and more in the comments, you see more and more in the YouTube grifter scuttlebutt. A lot of people going, you know what, James, so he's kind of annoying and kind of bad. And Cody, do we give the title to Cody again when Drew was doing such a good job, blah, 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 blah. So interesting. Of course, I don't wish them to do well, so I don't care necessarily whether they're
All the best. Keep it up, guys.
All the best for
Bang up job. Bang up job.
Fucking idiot.
Twat.
In other news, sorry, that was explaining the Undertaker didn't have a firm kind of topic there.
Yeah,
it was just kind of Cody Rhodes and the whole model that they're running at once. Kevin Knight re-signed.
Good news. Very good news.
Surprised when I saw the news here. Not that he resigns, because of course he re-signed him. That he was initially only signed to a 1-year deal.
Whoa,
that was surprising to me. Now, granted, he wasn't a huge
pushed. Yeah,
he wasn't a huge New Japan by any.
No, he was a sort of prelim guy, but he's just
New Japan strong,
done so well. Yeah, it's good news. Good news. I think he will play a pivotal role in the next few years of AEW. Let's see.
Yeah, just Kevin Knight.
He's in his 20s, right? I think
29.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good age.
I think we spoke about him the week ago or the week before. He obviously still has some development to go character-wise, but I think he's got a lot of potential. A lot of potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can imagine him being sort of, I think with his personality, sort of like you could almost do like a modern day MVP kind of gimmick with him. I don't throw out bad ideas here. I'm not great fucker, but I'm trying to think with Kevin Knight in terms of character wise, where does he go? I think he'll be kind of a natural sort of heel.
Oh, really?
I think he's got a little bit of that.
The swagger.
Smugness and swagger to him.
Yeah.
You know? I think in ring, he's obviously
tremendous. Yeah.
But I think that's obviously a great get. My assumption would be that Speedball, who came in not at the same time, but around the same time, I would assume that they would have signed him to a bigger deal or a longer deal.
Yeah, he's the most established guy.
He's from TNA.
Yeah.
He was more of a name. In bad news, Penelope Ford indeed was hurt in that title match the other week. Per Tony Khan, out for weeks, possibly months. So, I mean, I know that Harley Cameron was getting a lot of shtick on Twitter and the like, on the old town hall, the old community, the old cesspool of what do they call in Star Wars? You'll never see a bigger hive of scum and villainy. So she was getting a lot of shit, which obviously is not nice. I do feel like, I'm not going to hammer her, but I do feel like this is, and I'm not a wrestler. I can't bump. I can't even do, you know, we see people learning to be a wrestler and they do that little like tumble.
Yeah.
I ain't even doing that. So I'm not trying to come in here and tell you how to do your job. But I do feel like one of the concepts surely for being a wrestler, especially on the old dives, is if someone is jumping at you from a great height, your number one job is to protect them over even yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I know that wrestlers are, you know, it's what do they say, the wrestling business, not the wrestling friendship. And I'm not suggesting, by the way, that Harley Cameron has intentionally tried to do Penelope Ford to take her spot here. Okay. But if someone is coming to the top rope, and you see this all the time in wrestling of all styles, genders, levels, from the top to the bottom, people go for a dive, and the most half-hearted attempt, I'll save you, and just like stick out one little finger to try and catch them.
Yeah. Like,
someone's coming diving, you need to be there and take like the brunt of the dive is surely what has been done there. So whenever you see a dive like that, there was the one in TNA a few months ago, the Leon Slater one off the X, where he just splatted. You can't have someone dive and just like the feeblest little arm out to catch them. You need to, you know, be jumping like someone catching the Hail Mary throw at the Super Bowl. You know, it needs to be fucking properly saved them. So unfortunately, Penelope Ford is suffering as a result of not being caught, and so has hurt her leg, and she's out for a while. We come to the other point as well, which is the frequency at which moves like moonsaults from the top rope to the outside are just a move that happens now, and we all shrug and go, "Oh, that's the norm."
Yeah.
As opposed to that being like the finish of the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is, God, do you get the same pop for doing a moonsault to the outside as you would for a fucking tope? I don't know. You know, is the juice worth the squeeze given that she's now out for months and has just returned relatively recently from injury?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Say, we see these a lot. They don't typically end in injury. You know, a lot of people do them.
No, but
you know what I mean, I think, I don't know.
And I know as well that wrestlers going out there and they want to do it. They want to do the moonsault spot because we'll pop the fans. It's like, is it the old thing of picking your spots and maybe again, maybe look, if the original plan was that they were going to win the titles here, sure, I can see like this is our big match. This is Penelope's maybe biggest match in AEW. She's going to win the title. She's going to do the big moonsault spot. But just unfortunate that she's hurt again.
But from that, we get the team of Cross and Bane. So every cloud.
Yeah. Let me come up, do the Tony Khan name generator. They are called Crossbane.
Crossbane. Oh, that's not a bad name to be fair. Crossbane.
I beg to differ. Anyway, get well soon to
get well, Penelope.
Big Penny. And then final news story of the week is the new tag team in town. No longer the learning tree. Paid in Full, which is the name of Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Oh, okay. Is that because he's
rebranded?
He's a Big Bill.
Oh, I didn't even consider that.
And he's
Brian Keith is the bounty hunter. Yeah.
So he's paid the bill in full. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing them on future episodes of Collision.
Let me come up with an alternative name. Let's get creative here. All right, you got Collision, not even made. This was on Ring of Honor. They came out with this name. Big Bill, right? So I'm calling him
Voice.
The Big Duck, the Quacker.
Can't pay. We take it away.
Bounty Hunter. I'm calling him the shit chocolate aficionado.
Hunter.
I mean, look, at least they're not called Bill Keith.
Bill Keith. Sergeant Bill Keith.
Sergeant Bill Keith. So that's their new team name anyway. I mean,
well, good for them.
First team name in since the first episode of Dynamite, it feels like, where the team name hasn't just been an amalgamation of the wrestlers' names or nicknames, which is bad. So good that they came up with that. Probably not even Tony Khan. They probably like, here's our name. And then I do have a non-wrestling. I don't have much life going. Not much here. Been a quiet week. Just making chips the whole time.
Yeah.
So we've covered that. I do have a new segment, which is Paul's Bozo of the Week.
Ooh.
I don't have a sound effect. It's not like Hong Kong of the Week.
No, I don't need it.
Bozo of the Week sound effect is, oh, you fucking bozo. There you go. That's the jingle. It's Bozo of the Week. Oh, you fucking bozo. Anyway, my Bozo of the Week for the first inaugural Bozo of the Week is Paul Scholes. I'm sure you've seen this in the news, Joe.
Yeah.
He's had a go at Lisandro Martinez. Now he's had a go at Michael Carrick. Now he's had a go. Can Paul Scholes shut up for 5 minutes, please?
Yeah.
He's the most grouchy little fool. Great footballer, don't get me wrong. But if I wanted to hear a sour-faced idiot talk, I'd suck the lemon before I come on the air.
Little mank twat.
So let me just paint a picture for you here, right? You Manchester United have Ruben Amorim in charge. Club is going nowhere.
Yeah, tell them what.
Table mediocrity, sign me up. He gets the boot, right?
Mm.
We need someone to come in and steer the ship just for a little while, until the summer. They come knocking on Michael Carrick's door. Michael, will you come do this for us? Michael Carrick says, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in, gets a result against City. Comes in, gets a result against Arsenal. Gets a result against Spurs. Suddenly, United are in third place in the Premier League. Flying. One defeat. Paul Scholes is having a go. Oh, see, Michael Carrick. Maybe there's a reason why they didn't ask you, you little fool.
Because you managed to hold him for a week and then quit. So you're like, oh, I don't like it. Have you seen that podcast with him and Butt?
Him and Butt. Yeah.
Him and McGuinness. And McGuinness, the three fucking Carl Pilkingtons on one show. Shut up. Seen that? Shut. Oh, what? No, I don't watch films, books. I don't read books. Oh, you what? Oh, don't like that. Oh God, miserable bastards.
Yeah. Like I know that. One thing I'll give Scholes props for. I know he's very protective of his kids and all that, and I'll give him a big thumbs up on that. But I don't need to hear his cretinous thoughts about football anymore, because they are almost entirely negative and not constructive in any way. It's always a little fucking needly jab. You know what I mean? It's never. See, what I would have done is I would have played Ahmad over Sheshko for this match because I feel like Ahmad's energy defensively. It's never that. It's always, Michael Carrick, what are you doing? So I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to see clips of him and Nicky Butt having to go with Lisandro Martinez, who has been like one of our best defenders for the last 5 years. While Lenny Yaro boots the ball into our own goal every week. Don't be having a go. Lisandro Martinez, the guy is one of our best defenders. So I don't want to hear this guy anymore. I don't want to hear about him in his podcast. That's the problem. Bozo of the week. That's the problem. Everyone, and we're us included, has to have a fucking podcast.
Yeah, but we've had one for 16 fucking years.
We know
Johnny come latelys going, podcast, like we're podcast for life.
And then this is the thing. They had to go with Lisandro Martinez. And then the comeback was, we're just like guys at the pub having a chat. Sorry, that's not how it works. No. When you have first of all, when you are a very, very prominent name in the last 20 years in the Premier League, and you have a public forum through which you disseminate your opinions, that is not the same as some lads down the pub having a chat.
No.
It ain't. So I will say, Bozo of the week, Paul Scholes. He now in my list of Manchester United all-time greats sits where he's fallen down the table. Where is he now? Right between Gabriel Obertan and Giuseppe Rossi. That's where he is on the league table. All the way down there.
That was the news. That was the news. Shall we move it? We've also already done one of our features, Explain, and the Wonder Taker.
We did.
Brothers of Discussion. Shall we dump into a lovely little fantasy update? What's been going on in the fantasy league this week, Paul?
What's been going on? I mean, listeners, you can't see Joe's big old smile on his face here because I think for the first, I haven't checked the full listings. I think for the first time since before World's End 2024, Joe Tanner is top of the thing. Here, Joe, with an absolute bang. Joe's 43-point week.
Boom.
Has jumped
That's
to the
top. Week before the pay-per-view.
I know. 33 points on Dynamite with a surprise Okada title win, which I'm sure you're very pleased about. Also, him winning a title and two of Barry's guys losing titles. You're probably rubbing your hands.
Very nice.
Moxley with a win as well. MJF title defense. Cassidy win. Hayter win. Darby win. Kevin Knight title loss. That's okay.
Also
minus. He had two matches No, he lost both matches.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Which I think is the first time
Who
that's
was it?
ever happened.
Who was... Oh, no, I'm thinking of
Hangman Page.
Yeah.
So Hangman got a 0 from Dynamite because he got 4 for winning his match, -5 for losing the title, but +1 for losing. So
Appearance fee, yeah.
Kevin Knight on a -3, which is 1 for the loss, 1 for the second loss, which makes 2, and -5 for losing the title equals -3. So big win for Joe. Joe also had a Cash Wheeler title defense and a Swerve Strickland win in Collision. So that was a 43-point week, as I said. I only had a few matches. Kyle Fletcher winning the title as well meant that I had a 23-point week, which was not bad. Only 14 points for Barry. Ooh, sorry, mate. Me and Joe each had that with one match. Fletcher and Okada got 14 each. Barry had a 0 for Adam Page, a -4 for Mike Bailey. He only had the one match, of course. Tekla, world title defense for 6. Dax Howard for 6. Claudio Ciampa both losing for 1. I tell you, that was my surprise fancy result of the week, which I was very was Garcia over Ciampa. I was like, love to see it. Which means that currently the standings are, I'm in 3rd place. To be fair, I've had a couple of rotter weeks the last few weeks, but I'm on 178. And you know what? It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
178 points for me. 38 points ahead of that, I want to say. Barry on 221. No, 43 points ahead. Barry on 221. And 13 points ahead in the lead is Team Joe with 234.
Hell yeah.
Which, I mean, you had a bit of a rough start at Joe, but it's really turned around. You've had a very good couple of weeks. 149 points across the last 10 shows. So in the last 5 weeks, you're hitting an average of about 30 a week, which is very, very good.
I think Cassidy, Okada, and Darby were all very slow starters, but have come good.
Yes. And
then I added Jamie Hayter, who's been racking up a win every week.
Yeah, 12 from 3.
Can't complain. Very good.
Yeah, I still feel like whereas you would have, Swerve and Okada, for example, in your 2nd and 3rd places with a 46-point between them, and I have Bandito and Mercedes Moné with 5. So that's your difference right there. Bandito has a match at the pay-per-view. Do you want to give him a few wins, Tony? In advance, do you want to do something?
A match.
And Mercedes has started wrestling again, which is great. We didn't have that on the news, but she did lose her CMLL women's title to Persephone, and she's losing some other wrestlers.
She'll be back soon.
Let's have her show up in AEW again, please. Get me a few points.
She could be back.
Maybe at Revolution.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
So that's the fantasy update. Kyle Fletcher actually was the number 1 draft pick of the whole shebang, as you will recall, is now the number 1 point scoring wrestler in the company. Which is funny because it seems like he hadn't been around for quite a while. 48 points because he has won 2 titles.
He's won 2 belts, that's it.
He's won 2 belts. So he jumps above Hangman, Adam Page, and Kevin Knight, who are rounding out the top 3. And then Tekla, who of course won a world title. We'll obviously talk about her a little bit. I did have a listen, by the way, in the week. This is kind of the music section, jumping up or early. I did have a listen to Tekla's punk band in the week. Death Row Groupies from her time in Austria. Actually, not bad. Sort of Tony Hawk, pro skater style punk music. Listen to one song, ACU, which stands for All Cunts United. But it was actually decent. Actually decent. So that's the fantasy update. As I say, Joe is in the lead. Good 50 points ahead of me. So I need to have some stuff now start to turn my way. Because where I'm getting killed compared to yourself and Barry is on the title defenses.
Yeah.
Because I've only one champion, which is Kyle Fletcher. So I need to see. Again, I got totally fucked last week on Mega Bane. Again, the word never came out whether Mega Bane was actually going to win the titles there. I have my suspicions. But again, that thing we talked about, that would have been an 18-point swing. So if she had won the title, I would be on like nearly 200, like 196, and would be much closer than I am, unfortunately. But you never know. Things can turn around quite quickly here. But yeah, where you guys are picking up 6s every week, I'm only picking 4s.
Yeah.
So I do need that to about face quite quickly. We've all still only made one transfer as well. I don't think there's any need for transfers in the immediate future. Looking at my team, the only one of my team who I would really have reservations about and maybe consider trading out would maybe be Danny Garcia. Granted, he just picked up the win there this week, but I just feel like
there's going to be some good. There's value out there in the market. There's quite a few people not picked, not drafted that could be valuable. We'll see.
Yes,
the weeks ahead.
We will see. So do you want to jump over then to our TV?
Let's get
reviews.
Into the reviews. I'd say I'll run through. I've had a very varied week of wrestling. We watched a lot of wrestling this week, as well as Dynamite and Collision as usual. So I'll quickly run through that. So it was a big week in women's wrestling. I watched three women's wrestling shows this week. So started off with Pro Wrestling Eve, which is a British independent company, women's show, produced by Will Ospreay. Now he's got the kind of Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Will Ospreay presents Pro Wrestling Eve. So they had their biggest show ever today. I think it just finished probably an hour or two ago. Wrestle Queendom 8, which took place at the Indigo at the O2 Arena, which is like a smaller venue within the O2 Arena. I think it's like, I don't know, 1,500 to 2,000 people. But I think their biggest crowd ever, and apparently the biggest European crowd for an all-women's show ever as well, was what they were going for. So in the build-up to that, I watched Eve 145, which was earlier in the week. Which was kind of one of their typical shows, but it's available on YouTube if you subscribe. So it was a pretty good show. Had some kind of really just sort of build up to the Wrestle Queendom show today. But it did feature a Jamie Hayter versus Miyu Yamashita match, which was superb. It was, classic Jamie Hayter. It's what we came to know and love of her. Hard hitting, just uncompromising. She wasn't battering her opponent, but it was quite bad. She was selling a lot, actually, really kind of selling well. I everything she did in this Hayter made me think, I'm excited for her to do the Brawling Birds thing and to with Alex Windsor, but it also got me thinking about Jamie Hayter in there with Mercedes, with Tekla, with so many potential matches, because she's, based on this, she is as good as ever, really. This was fantastic.
What did it take for her to recapture that aura she had pre-injury?
I don't know.
We talked about the look. We talked about the presentation.
I think the heel turn. Maybe it's just a heel turn. Maybe, we're going a long way down the road here, but maybe if eventually the Brawling Birds, they can win the titles, lose the titles, maybe there's a heel turn coming out of that for her. I just think she should be in that mix. She could hang with all those women. She's certainly got a title reign kind of in her. This was a really fun show. There was also a segment with Amira Blair, who's had a match with Harley Cameron at Wrestle Queendom, which consisted of her. Thing was, it was a surprise Harley Cameron coming out, so she was there slagging her off under the assumption that Harley Cameron wasn't at the show. So she was like, Harley Cameron's shit, she's ugly, she's got terrible tits, I hate Harley Cameron. And then out comes Harley Cameron, who's like, actually, I've got fantastic tits and they're very natural. Thank you, Dr. Ward, which got a big pop. And they then had what I can only describe as a tit off, where they Amira Blair and her she's got a little minion. I don't know the name of this person. But
Michael Oku.
It was definitely
this was very well. I apologize. I apologize. That's very mean of me. I'm sorry.
Her kind of Weasley little assistant, like a Brandon, what's his name?
Cutler,
yeah. They did sort of boob bumps to Harley Cameron, which she of course no sold because she's got the ultimate boobs. And the segment ended with Harley Cameron calling her a cunt. So I'll be honest, great segment. One that you won't see on any other promotion, I would wager.
Oh my God, it's like the fourth time that word's been said on this show already. So it's a C word heavy.
We get a few more in before the end of the show. So that was a fun show. And then the actual Wrestle Queen was today. I didn't get to see all of it just because I was kind of doing dinner and other things, but I was sort of dipping in and out of it. But you had like Willow Nightingale versus Nina Samuels, Chris Statlander versus Charlie, the artist formerly known as Dakota Kai. And in the main event, Rio versus Session Moth Martina, kind of making her triumphant comeback. They posted a brilliant video of Martina on social media, which was kind of recapping her, her world kind of falling apart with the pandemic, leaving Ring of Honor.
Yeah, she said Ring of Honor just before. Yeah,
been through a hell of a lot, and this is kind of her redemption story. It was such a good video. It was honestly like one of the best promos I've seen. I think it's a kind of interesting thing with these indie promotions. The actual like production of the show is still a bit ropey, especially today. Like the stream, the audio kept falling out. The actual like, although it's a kind of good venue and a bigger venue, it's not great for like shooting a wrestling show. Like the hard cam was kind of in the middle of a crowd of people, so you kind of got hands and heads in the way. It's just one of those things. But because of just how easy it is, to get access to cameras and things now and editing, the vignettes are so good. They're like as good as anything you'll see in any promotion. Yeah. It's kind of this dichotomy of like when you go out into a street and film this amazing vignette and then the actual show just doesn't look good. I think that's it's a strange one, but still a really enjoyable show. So I'm going to maybe check out a few of the matches from that properly later on.
OTT in Dublin used to have really good video packages. I think the guy who made them got signed to WWE,
didn't he? Yeah,
I don't know what he's up to these days. I haven't heard about him in a long time. But
that
was really the thing that was like, my God, these video packages are as good as anything the big two have.
That's the thing. I think it's easier to do that than it is to put on an actual live wrestling show that looks really high value. Speaking of which, we mentioned Lucha Underground earlier. I happened to throw on episode 1 of Lucha Underground this week. I keep wanting to go back and watch it. So I never sort of finished Lucha Underground. I kind of gave up after season 2.
We talked about doing a little Lucha Underground rewatch at some point. And then...
we didn't get around to it, but I think it would be good because it's such an interesting kind of time sort of in between like when TNA was at its sort of peak.
Yeah, kind of.
And then AEW coming along. You had that little period where New Japan and Lucha Underground were like the two saving graces of like wrestling. That first episode, I'd say on one hand, like it's the exact opposite in terms of production. Like the way they dressed up that little studio to look like the Aztec Temple.
It looks great.
It's so good. Like just all the set dressing and the look. It was like, it made it look $1 million. It was fantastic. And then the vignettes, we talked about Conan and Dario Cueto and everything. And so, some of the other packages they did for like Ricochet as Prince of Humor, just really, really good. It's really a shame that kind of style didn't seem to really influence the other wrestling companies at all. Because if you watch WWE or AEW, they're still doing this exactly the same kind of like grammar of filming. It's, someone pulls up in a car, someone walking backstage with their luggage, hidden camera promos in locker. It's just the same look and feel that we've had since Monday Night Raw, or Nitro 30 years ago. It's such a shame that Lucha Underground didn't have more influence on like how they would film vignettes or kind of backstage segments. But anyway, the surprising thing for me with that was the wrestling, because I remember Lucha Underground having really good wrestling, lots of really good matches. After, I think I've just had my brain washed by watching AEW for so long, because watching these matches back on the first Lucha Underground, I couldn't believe how kind of slow it was and how like...
Wasn't it the thing that the first tapings, that they couldn't get the visas for all the luchadors or something in time, that the first few episodes they're all missing from, basically.
But the main event is John Morrison versus Ricochet. Like it's really good people, but And it's not like it was bad, but I think it's just the speed and the complexity of like the wrestling you see on a week-to-week AEW. Yeah. It's just such a high bar that you go back and watch this stuff from sort of 10 years ago, and it's like, oof, you know, it seems just terrible, like so slow by comparison.
Well, it's been very influenced by that, of course.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like, you know, you watch Aliens for the first time today.
Yes.
And you think, oh, it's just another
just a jump scare, great.
Space trooper movie. I said, well, that was kind of the one that pushed that to the fore, you know? So
yes,
reverse
Lucha Underground. I'll continue tipping away at that. And then finally, I did also catch up with some of CMLL La Noche de la Amazonas, which was their again, their all-women card from CMLL in Arena, Mexico. Again, it looks so big time. That arena is phenomenal.
Yes, can't wait for it to go back.
It's so good. I just watched the top 3 matches that featured AEW talent. So Mina beat
Mercedes
Zukis, I think it's pronounced, I'm not sure. That was a really good match. Mina just really, she's so talented. Really had the crowd going. She kind of worked the leg, had a figure 4 on the ramp, then ended up winning with a, I think, modified kind of figure 4. Really good match. Megan Bayne beat Olympia. I think Olympia's supposed to be an almost kind of Megan Bayne style character.
Made a few AEW appearances.
I don't remember seeing her before, but she's
a big muscly one.
Yeah, she's not very tall, but she's got that kind of big muscly. I think she's, like I say, a kind of Greek god type thing.
Well, Olympia,
but not as tall as Megan Bayne. This was fantastic as well. As 2 big beefy girls, you know, in a match. At one point, Megan Bayne does and we'll get to this with. Was it Dynamite Collision? There was Collision as well. They had the tag match. Megan Bayne does a top rope Frankensteiner at one point. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, she's so good. Every time I watch Megan Bayne wrestle, I just think we're more and more vindicated on this show about everything we've said about her. I just feel like she's like a fucking Goldberg or a Hulk Hogan, or she's just got like that aura, and she can wrestle, and she's big, and she's got a great look. She should be have a 10-year contract. If Tony can get her under contract,
give her an Mark Henry deal.
Give her a fucking 20-year contract. I don't know, cash in, sell the Jaguars, and use that money to get Megan Bayne under contract, because she's just so good. And then the main event was Persephone beating Mercedes Moné for the CMLL women's title, which was, as you'd expect, really, really good. Moné playing up the heel to the crowd, and it was
nice. Mercedes, very good. Her back.
I think she'll be back soon. I mean, she's dropped most of the belts now. She'll be back soon. So that was the whole week of wrestling. Of course, we got Barry at WXW. I'm sure we will get a report on that next week.
Yeah, what happened there? Hans
Gruber defeated Mike Schmittenstein in the main event.
Yeah. But using a German. Every match finishes with a German suplex.
Yes. Now, while other wrestling podcasts sit through 3 hours of SmackDown every week and sound like they want to kill themselves, we review all the wrestling out there, all the indies, all the big companies. This is the only place you'll find it.
Well, don't listen to last week's episode or next week's episode. Just take that this is
this is the normal service.
So, did you enjoy this week's Dynamite?
I did.
I mean, I fucking enjoy it every week. That's the giveaway. But I especially enjoy this week's because, I mean, this is the funny thing, right? We do our little fantasy league. Who came up with that idea? What a fucking genius, by the way. We did our fantasy league, and I tell you, it actively impacts my enjoyment on the show sometimes, right? I'm like, Kyle Fletcher's getting a fucking title shot today. And I'm jumping out of my chair going, here we go. 14 points in the bag, baby. But, I mean, it helps when the shows are actually good fun anyway. Opened here with our world title match.
Yes.
MJF, Kevin Knight. We had all the usual spots. MJF hit Kevin Knight in the face with his cock at one point. We had an early UFO splash, which didn't land. We had MJF hitting an F5 at one point. which was a little surprising. And of course, we had a little fuckery at the end, which made me laugh. I'll tell you why. So Bryce Ramsberg gets bumped. Kevin Knight goes for the finish, hits the splash, and Bryce crawls over, very, very slowly crawls over, and then hits the most exaggerated count where he hits one, and then he jumps nearly to his feet, and his hand is 8 foot above the ring. And he comes down 2, and then he gets back up on his knees and nearly jumps up again. Oh, and it's if he hadn't been bumped, never mind that. The way he counted this 3 count took about 10 counts to get through. Very, very funny. I don't know why he decided to do that, to be honest. I get he was bumped and he was trying to milk the crowd reaction and to exaggerate for effect. But I thought this was a little silly, to be honest. Of course, MJF got the win then with the Heat Seeker, at which point he was going to MJF's going to beat up Knight some more, and Hanger and Speedball appeared, and MJF hit the bricks and ran away.
He did.
Very good match. Good showing for Kevin Knight. Yeah. It being not on pay-per-view necessarily, I don't think this was, this wasn't to the extent of Kyle Fletcher's audition at Full Gear. It wasn't blow away oh my God, this guy is so ready for the main event. But it was a very, very solid show. I think Kevin Knight certainly has what it takes with a little bit of seasoning. If I look into my crystal ball here, I foresee good things for Kevin Knight. Then we had the Dogs, the Damn Dirty Dogs, against Darby Allin and an Old Man River Orange Cassidy. And they had a big brawl prior to the match actually beginning. Lots of dangerous stuff. Cassidy got bumped and the doctor had to look at him, so they were working over Darby. And then they kind of isolated Connors, hit him with the stunner, the spinning DDT, coffin drop to the outside, and then Darby threw Connors back in to eat an orange punch for the 1, 2, 3. Darby and Cassidy celebrate. I look up to the heavens in exasperation that this is Clark Connor's 4th defeat in a row. He's 0 for 4. I'm are you going to push these guys? What the fuck are we doing here? Why does Clark Connor keep losing every match he does? Is this guy a geek in disguise? And then we get the debuting David Finlay to appear. And of course, he gets the old shillelagh out, which I will mention as a man of Ireland, that the only time in my entire life that I've ever seen a shillelagh was being held by a man called Finlay on wrestling television. Make of that what you will. So Finlay is here. He's aligned with Kidd and Connors. I immediately think, well, I hope that will bring some much needed direction and turn of fortunes. And of course, they did then win a match on Collision versus a bunch of geeks so geeky that I have not even got their names yet to add to the fantasy. Because they said them, or at least the ring announcer said them on the show. I was I'm not remembering any of those. I'll have to look it up on Cage Match, which I didn't get around to doing yet. So good. I mean, on one hand, I would say it's interesting that they didn't bring in Finlay to debut in a more, as they say, main event. You know what I mean? To have it be a big, memorable bit of the show. It's the second segment of the show. When he debuts, it felt a little.
I just think with the amount of people they've got, he probably isn't. He doesn't deserve to be higher, but You didn't look like Bandito and Andrade in the next segment. Like,
Yes.
they're two guys that could be in the main event. You know what I mean? Swerve could be in the main. Kenny, Darby as well. Cassidy.
I know. I just feel like a debut as a stand-alone occurrence can be. You know, for this week, keep up, and then whatever you do going forward. Renee backstage with Bandito and Killian Murphy from Peaky Blinders. Don't know what he's doing there. I grew his hair out as well, looks like, and forgot how to speak English.
Okay.
Andrade's English is pretty good here.
Yeah.
They're backstage. Bandito says, "Hermano, I was such a big fan of you growing up," which is the ultimate backhanded compliment. Saying, you are old.
You old bitch.
Vlade, brother, you are old as fuck. He said, "I'm a big fan. It was a dream. Watching you, it'll be a dream to face you at Revolution." And Andrade says, "What the fuck is this? The best wrestler in the world or an Andrade fan? Why do you want to have a fight or take a selfie?" Oh, my phone's ringing. I better go. Whoever's calling me, probably my dentist, probably is more important than you, Bandito. I'll get the fuck out of here. And Andrade did the bit where he says his phone is ringing, and then as soon as he puts it to his head, you see that there's nothing on the screen. There's no call happening, which I'm going to headcanon that as being actually there was no phone call in the context of even Andrade was faking it, as opposed to he didn't consider the real world implications of not actually accepting a phone call.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little bit dare I say, of a letdown in terms of building to this match. Can we have one of these fuckers have a match? Can we have something happen? I mean, I love the fact that they're having a match. The match is going to be absolutely a banger, but
yeah.
Can we have some kind of storyline to build to it? Maybe. Brawling Birds versus the Inspiration. I'm going to give a compliment here to the Inspiration. These two work their role to perfection. That role being deluded twerps.
For all the great wrestling I watched this week, this was one of my favorite matches because they just battered the fuck out of them and they sold it and said, "We're getting better." You know what I mean? There was no pretensions of, they get their shit in, they get all this kind of 50-50
yes.
Back and forth. It was just two hard women battering two softies. Perfect. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was very entertained by it.
I will tell you what, I loved it as well. And I loved the pre-match promo from the Inspiration where they're like, "We're going to kill the Brawling Birds. They don't have the balls to go face to face with us. They're going to have to stand aside." And then, of course, the Brawling Birds come out and absolutely waylay them with don't even break a sweat. You know what I mean? Easy as anything.
Tremendous.
That's one of my kind of favorite wrestling archetypes is the deluded bozo.
Yeah.
To use bozo from earlier. You know what I mean? The guy who comes in and thinks he's absolutely going to win the world title, so he gets beaten in 14 seconds.
I think if you're good at what you do, you don't have to. It doesn't matter if you get battered. You'll come back next week. They'll do another promo. They'll face Crossbane, get fucking destroyed by Crossbane, and then they'll come back the next week, do a promo, and say, "Oh, they got us, but we're gonna kill them next week." You know what I mean?
That's the thing, right?
See them never win a match, and I'll still be completely entertained by those two. They're brilliant.
100%. I think them coming in, obviously, there was concern about these two aren't actually very good, but if you can find a role for them in which what they do well can be the focus of kind of their whole character, and they don't need, as you said, to come in and have an 18-minute back and forth with Babes of Wrath. So I found it very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'll say so. Good job by both.
Good stuff.
I'll also say I liked Justin Roberts correctly enunciating the Brawling Birds, as opposed to how I don't know who does the ring announcing on Collision these days, but the lady says the Brawling Birds. That ain't right.
The Brawling Birds.
The Brawling Birds. Exactly. Howard Finkel would do very well. We had Hangman Page. Now, this I didn't like this because this was 4 free points for Barry for no fucking reason. Hangman Adam Page in action. Who's his opponent? Just some fucking guy. Gives him a kick and hits him with a lariat immediately. This could have just been a promo, to be honest. Takes the mic, says he's this is I guess nitpick of the week almost. The ambiguity there still is about what the fucking stipulation is for this match.
Yeah.
So Hangman comes out here and basically says, we're having a Texas death match, and if I lose, I never get to challenge for the world title again. Okay? Every time they run through the pay-per-view matches, the graphic never says that that's a stipulation. They don't highlight it on commentary. Now, to be fair, I'm going to use the competition here. In WWE, every time they run that graphic, it would be on the graphic and the commentators would point it out.
Yeah.
Why is this so hard? Why are they doing it?
It's, I think, I don't know, kind of hedging their bets, or is it just
I don't know what it is. Just having the graphic. Texas death match. If Hangman Page loses, he can never challenge for the world title again.
No more shots. Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand why you like throughout the watching of a show, I'll see a graphic and it'll come up and it doesn't mention that anymore. It doesn't mention that anywhere. And I think, oh, maybe they're not going with that. And then Hangman comes out for a promo and talks about it. And I'm saying, well, what is it? So I don't know. I mean, I'm going with the assumption that even though storyline wise, it also doesn't make any sense because the reason the match got made, Texas Death Match, was because MJF cheated on the coin flip.
Yeah.
So why would Tony Khan force the Hangman?
I'm wondering, is this become less of like an AEW stipulation, more of a pledge by Hangman to be like?
Well, that's what we talked about last week. Is that Hangman said, if I don't beat you at Revolution, I don't deserve to fight for the title anyway. Well, fair enough, but that also makes me think. But also, don't like put that into a contract necessarily.
Yeah,
you know, like that makes him look a bit. I don't want to say stupid, but you know, like if you had a chance at something, let's say you play the lotto, right? And it's like you can play the lotto, and if you win £1 million. And if you lose, we're going to cut both of your hands off.
Yeah.
And you say, well, is that legally binding or anything? No, but you've suggested it, so we're going to go ahead with that. And you say, well, I'm actually not quite so into that idea anymore. Like Hangman, let's reverse engineer the story here, right? They made the match. Hangman won the match for the number one contender spot for the match of Revolution, right? Hangman then suggests a Texas death match and says, I want that match so much, I will offer up that if you beat me, I can never go for the world title again. So I would imagine there was some course correcting here in terms of the creative process, right? Hangman then comes out to the next week. They do the like agree on the stipulation thing. MJF cheats with the coin. And then Tony Schiavone says, Tony Khan has made this a Texas death match. No mention of the Adam Page can't go for the title stipulation. Then Adam Page comes out and says, if I can't beat you, I don't deserve anyway. That's, to go for the title again. So we're still doing that, even though I've got the match I want. And that was never mentioned. And then this week, he's acting as if that's still the case. I don't think they've given enough of a anchor storyline wise for that stipulation to still be at play. I mean, I think they got too clever with the MJF coin. Now, that segment in isolation was fun and was enjoyable, but I think they lost the run of themselves a little bit in terms of what the stipulations are and what the motivations for those stipulations to be in place. And then that plays into, like I said, the graphics on the commentary where, this should be one of the simplest things for everybody to be aligned on and the audience to be 100% clued in on. Because I tell you what will happen now. Revolution will come and go. Let's say hypothetically MJF wins the Revolution.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking tweets and the amount of fucking posts on Blue Sky, you will see that like, wait, what? Wait, he doesn't get to go for the title? Didn't think they're doing that anymore. The amount of confusion there will be post-match instead of what there should be, which is an emotional investment in the result of the match. That's going to be missing because people don't understand what the fucking relationship is.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what the end goal of it is. We'll see.
It's very strange. It's very strange.
If it was just a Texas death match, I'd be happy with that. I don't know. They need to add this. It's added something, but now it's confusion.
I think it definitely adds an element to the ambiguity about the result and
if it's clear.
If it's clear. And look, this is a fun show, and I'm enjoying the build and I'm enjoying everything. But like, these are the simple details, that aren't hard to get right. And every time I see the graphic and it makes me fucking grow my fists, my hands curl into fists, and the blood pressure goes up by about 10 beats per minute. Anyway, Hangman, beat your man anyway and says, yeah, we're going to do the match, blah, 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 blah. MJF comes out and says, bad enough we have to hear you whine and bitch here. Next week we're going to do a press conference, and I like a press conference. But then Hangman Page gets attacked out of nowhere by Fletcher, Davis, and Okada till Jet Speed run down to make the save. Don Callis' music hits. And he says, well, on Collision, you guys did say anytime, any place. And I talked to Tony Khan, and the time is tonight, and the place is wherever they were in Texas. That was made the main event. So it's something that AEW don't do very often. The surprise match getting made during the show to be the main event, which I do like.
Yeah.
I don't like that WWE do it like every single show.
No, this was good.
I like that AEW. I think AEW could probably do it a little bit more often. But
because the fans get so used to that disappointment of, I'm going to fight you next week in Atlanta. The fans are like, we're not going to do this. I don't care. Whereas this is like,
this was tired. The funny thing was he was heel Don Callis announcing that instead of the babyface. Yeah. Here's the funny part of it, which again I'm going to overanalyze. Let's say. How much does Tony Khan hate Hangman Page and Kevin Knight? He agrees willy-nilly to have them wrestle twice on the one show. Kevin Knight, who's had a 20-minute world title match. You defend your back out there second time with your tapes ripped. I don't give a fuck. You're out there defending your belt later.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I think what we needed to have here. God, I don't have Tony Khan on screen. I think you need to have something where like Don Callis was really, really pushing the like, they said anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
They said it, not me. They said it. I feel like there needed to be a little bit extra rather than Don Callis just coming out going, hey, I've said this, and Tony Khan actually agreed with me. Like realistically, what that scene would have looked like would have been like Tony Khan pushing back and Don Callis saying, look, they said it, not me. They said anytime. And Tony Khan maybe say, look, if you can get them to agree to do it, then fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Seems strange that Tony Khan would have Kevin Knight, as I say, wrestle twice on the one show with his rib state. But hey, maybe Tony Khan is more like Dario Cueto than we realize. And he was sitting back there drinking a nice brandy going, this opportunity will be so freaking awesome. We then had Renee with the Young Bucks and FTR doing the contract signing. Or not contract signing. They signed a no contact clause. Sorry. They just would kind of do it face to face. Funny bit at the end. They said, we're not going to have any contact with each other. And then Brandon Cutler walks into shot. And they say, well, we don't have anything with him, but they knock him. I wonder from a cinematography point of view, the fact that he walked into shot, if one of the producers would have run on and punched him in the face instead. Like, what was this? Like, he comes on with his camera, just walks directly into the shot that they're professionally producing.
Yeah.
I think Brandon Cutler deserved to be punched. I'm going to throw that out.
It would. I don't think I saw this. I might have skipped this segment, but it would have been good if FTR had been kind of like noticing him off this, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was there, and they were clearly annoyed by something.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they went, "You're not part of this claw." And then the camera pans to Brandon Cutler filming that.
Or if they were showing the scene as recorded by Brandon Cutler, he's behind the camera.
Yeah.
You see the camera get like knocked, and it goes to another camera, and you can see the aftermath. And yeah, him just walking into the shot is not something I would have gone with. But again, little details. Moxie Hechicero for the Continental title, very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think these two guys are kind of a good match. They pair well together. They're like a good steak and some good chips. In isolation, both very good. But when you match them together, whole bib and heaven better. I think Moxie's kind of jiu-jitsu influenced stuff kind of works well with Hechicero's scientific style.
Yeah.
So they went quite good together. Then Moxie just like leaves, and then Takeshi comes out for the like standoff. Moxie's already halfway into the back. I wonder if he forgot that that's what they're supposed to do. And Takeshi comes out, then Moxie has kind of like ambled back down to ringside. They're like, "Oh yeah, you and me are having the match." Brody King swerve face off. Obviously this ended with Swerve wrapping the chain, attacking from behind, wrapping the chain around Brody's neck and sort of choking him out. I said, "Do you think you're the most dangerous man?" It's another thing to say it. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it. And then he said, "I remind you that I've also hanged a man in LA." So we'll see how. I mean, I'm looking forward to that match. I think of the matches they've made, we'll do a little run through. I think that's probably, dare I say, this speaks more to the quality of the show. This is maybe the weakest singles match we have so far. And it's like, I can't wait to see it. What a show we're going to be getting. Death Riders with Wheeler Yuta showing his little not quite bald head. This is a nitpick. Paul's nitpick, not of the week, but of wrestling. If someone loses a hair versus hair match, they should have to mandatorily keep it shaved bald for like 3 months. I don't think you can have and then the next week he's like already grown back in.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You don't.
I think you have to have that little period where it stays like bald and do the like humiliation. Oh my God, it's bald.
A couple of weeks.
I can grow it back. Because he just had the cap taken off on the beanie on Collision last week. And this week he's already got like the tennis ball fuzz. Come on. Give us a few weeks, for God's sake. Give us a few fucking weeks, Wheeler Yuta. Tekla Thunder Rosa. Pretty decent. I thought the Thunder Rosa had a chance here.
It was fine.
Tekla continuing to be one of my favorite acts in AEW currently.
She's great.
She is great. Very charismatic. I think her like accent and promo style almost veers into bad, but she got so much gusto and so much, charisma that she like pulls it off effortlessly anyway. Dumb bitches. So she won here, of course. Statlander came out. Is Statlander undergoing yet another character change? She came out here to feel like Neo from the Matrix. I don't know what this was supposed to be.
Dark cosmic.
Okay. I'm not sure I quite get it, but okay. I think Statlander, what she lacks is the opposite to the direction she's going in. I think if you see, like she did an interview with Chris Van Winkle.
Van Vliet.
Chris Van Dyke. Van Vliet. Yeah, Van Vliet. And I think like she comes off as a super likable, relatable person. I think it's that human vulnerability that I think would connect her to crowds. I think going more in a cyborg robot direction.
Yeah. I don't know how that works if you've got no personality and you lean into.
I think she really does.
Robotic, but she does, so she should be a bit more fun.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes anyway. Then we had Tommaso Ciampa at ringside, and FTR came out and said, do you want to join up with us? Ciampa said no, and then he gave Dax quite a slap at one point, and then FTR said, okay, well, we'll see you on Collision, which we obviously will get to in a second. Tony Storm, very brief appearance with Orange Cassidy backstage, furthering her feud with Marina, which we'll get to in a minute. And then in the main event, Jet Set Rodeo versus Don Callis family for the trios titles. And we did have a title change. MJF sneaking out towards the finish, decking Hangman with the Dynamite Diamond. Kevin Knight, who getting absolutely fucked by Tony Khan, leaps off the top and gets hit with a Rainmaker. Davis with a pile driver for the 1, 2, 3. And Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada both join Willow as double champions in AEW currently, which speaks to the quality of their women's tag and trios belts, that they are both held by people who also have single belts. But I was happy to see Mark Davis get a title.
Yeah,
given all the shit he's been through.
Fair play, Mark Davis.
Fair play, Mark Davis. I give it a little salute. I'll salute so hard that my hand is like curved.
Oh, brother.
Salute for Mark Davis.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they had to move the belts quickly when Hobbs left, and I think that necessitated a sort of emergency title change. Now they've moved it to Callis family. Was that the plan all along? Do they not really know what they're doing with the trios titles? Why are they such an afterthought? Let's bin them.
The only thing is they have trios. Don't push any of them.
I know. It's just, yeah. Get these.
I wonder if they'll get onto the dogs.
The dogs would be good. Yeah, there are enough kind of factions. Then you could do a dogs versus Bang Bang Gang feud. You know, if they do come back,
I love it.
That'd be tremendous. And then you got FTR with
Ciampa.
This happened. You know, FTR, Ciampa, the Dembucks. There's quite a few.
You got the Rascals. You've got Flight Sky.
It's like we've got all these great trios, but then that means
Shane Taylor Promotions.
The tag title division kind of goes, and trios goes up, or there's not enough to maintain a tag and a trios. Is the problem? You're either going to have one good or one bad.
Well, how about we have 2.5?
Split the difference. And we have the tag and a half belts.
Yeah. I mean, we joke.
5-head tag. There you go.
No, we joke, but you could have a hybrid tag trios belts where
like
some matches it's a tag
style.
Some matches a trios belt.
Any two of the three or a three.
Flexible.
Yeah.
Well, not even two of the three. You could have, let's say, the dogs hold the belts, whatever they're called. They can defend it in a 3-on-3, or they can defend it in a 2-on-3.
That's what I mean.
It's the same belt.
Two of the three.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, in a tag.
All three men are champions, but two of them, any two can defend in a 2 or all
hybrid
3.
tag trios. There you go.
Yeah, just for tag titles, because it's still, whether it's 2 or 3,
they're still tagging.
Yeah. They're still bloody tagging. Well, we've just revolutionised wrestling. I better get Tony.
You sure? No.
Tony.
No, don't get Tony. We're not doing Tony anymore. This is going to be Pro Wrestling Eve exclusive.
I'll get Levesque on the phone.
Get Levesque. Get Osprey at his horrible.
They just got rid of Road Dogg. Maybe I'll send a season for that job.
You didn't know?
Head writer of SmackDown job. I can probably do that, I think.
Yeah. All I have to do is kiss Levesque's arse all week. I believe that's what that job entails. Over to Collision, we had Rascals FTR for the World Tag
Really good.
Titles.
Really enjoyed this.
Good. This was your typical really good Collision opener.
Yeah.
I mean, Rascals delivering for me so far. You've noticed they've had them do loads of really good matches unless we are high backstage smoky roll vignettes.
These fellas like smoking the weed. Less of that. More matches like this, I'll be very happy with the Rascals.
Yeah, this and the we didn't touch on of course the Mile High Madness did get the old 5 stars last week. I think we might have mentioned that last week.
Yes.
Just like this week, got 5 stars, loads of 4, 4.5s, and so on and so forth. I mean, what was the match? There was one match from fucking Ishii and Andrade got like way too high a score for a match that was good, but wasn't like fucking 4.5. Wasn't as good as like Andrade against fucking Swerve or whatever. Which I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to do Meltzer analysis this week, but this was very good, very very good. FTR did get the win, of course, with the Shadow Machine. Sadly, they didn't get to do their. They did a very very slow BTE trigger, which looked like it wouldn't have put a dent into a cake. Then I did want to see them do a Meltzer driver. That would have been very very funny, but they got interrupted. Sadly, what would they have called the Meltzer driver? The FTR version, the Mike Johnson driver,
the Bret Hart driver, the Stu Hart driver.
But, FTR was leaving. Mark Briscoe came out for commentary for the next match. We also got a very very bad interstitial with Hook, Shibata, and Anthony Bones.
Let's skip that. I don't need.
Skip that. I'll tell you the one saving grace from this does seem to be that they've dropped that Acclaimed reunion.
Oh yeah,
story.
Thank God.
I don't know what to do with Anthony Bones, to be honest. I would have the same concerns as Hook. Is this guy a killer? Can this guy do that gimmick? I'm not sure. So we'll see whether that'll presumably lead to some more vignettes next week. Garcia Ciampa in a match, like I say, very surprising result. Garcia got over in Briscoe's face, who was on commentary. Briscoe, to be fair to Ciampa, Briscoe got up on the ring apron, bonked heads with Ciampa, and Garcia rolled him up. If I was Ciampa, I'd have beaten the fuck out of Mark Briscoe now, to be honest. I think he was perfectly vindicated.
Yeah, fair enough.
But this is where we did get the Ciampa heel turn. Does feel a little bit soon, but maybe they just decided, look, we had him come in, have his little title run. Maybe ultimately the direction was going to be, look, we want to bring his heel. We'll do a little thing initially, but we'll have you turn and work back Briscoe. I tell you what got a big old laugh out of me is when he spit in Mark Briscoe's bandana and wiped it on his bare arse. I would suggest that Mark Briscoe had to throw that one away and buy a new one. And they did announce it later in the show that on Dynamite we are getting Mark Briscoe and the Young Bucks against FTR and Ciampa. So that'll be a good Dynamite match. Look forward to that one. Swerve Strickland versus the worst luchador possibly working today, Gravity. I don't know what more to say about Gravity. This guy moves it like, I know he does the moonwalk thing, but he moves in slow motion. Bandito's brother, you would not know it. I may be over exaggerating slightly. This guy was just like not great.
Well, I don't know. It was a jobber match. So
it certainly was. Sort of him.
It's either him or what was the Hangman guy, Mike Snow or something. John Snow, Al Snow. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Swerve did, of course, beat him. As we said, Chris Allen cut a very dispassionate, sort of robotic promo backstage, which was very, very strange. Tekla then came out and cut an equally strange promo with her, like I said, objectively not very good delivery, but charisma and bombasticness so over the top that it was good. It was great, in fact. She is unlike anyone else in that she is so much gusto that, I mean, she could come out and read the back of a packet of biscuits and it would be the best promo of the year. So keep doing what you're doing, Tekla. And they're doing a 2 out of 3 falls match at the pay-per-view, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And Tekla said, no, I'm not doing that shit. And I said, well, actually, you know what? Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will do it. Because I'll beat you up. We had, Joe, the first money match of the year. $200,000 dues, which meant, per our new fantasy rules, 2 extra points
for
wrestlers none of us have.
Private party that we don't have. I mean, I appreciate that this was 4 teams that could probably use the money. 'cause it's the jobbers. So yeah. Blake Christian is also all elite now. Apparently he wasn't signed, even though he's been on it. I thought he's been AEW for years. He's like a day one. Yeah. This was all right.
This was fun. I mean, whenever I see the Outrunners, I'm reminded that I love them and they need to be on TV more often than they are. And Dolphin Castle on commentary, who had me laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that what they would spend the $200,000 on was that the Outrunners had been in the desert recently and had become fans of cacti, and they were going to buy $200,000 worth of lovely succulents, which had me roaring.
Brother Cacti.
Cacti Jack. Kevin and Mike Bailey backstage talking about their title loss. No, I didn't necessarily sense dissension here, but there was a little bit of attitude to them. So we then had Swerve walk up and say it's a given night, you know. If you want to be if you want to kill, you got to be a killer, so to speak.
Yeah.
We had they showed that Babes of Wrath got beat up by Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, and then Cross Bane did face the Timeless Love Bombs, which was a big match for Collision, because I mean the two big teams here. Unfortunately, it was the Love Bombs taking the L here, because Marina Shirakawa. My God, Mina and Marina, don't ever become a team. That'll be 100% your name. Marina Shafir did attack Tony Khan. Tony Khan? Tony Storm. What is wrong with me today? I'm saying names wrong all over the place. Tony Storm. Tony Khan and Tony Storm, when they team, their name will just be Tony Khan. Tony Khan Storm.
Be Tony Storm, yeah.
Lena Cross with a jackhammer for the win. So you have Megan Bayne, who does a running sit-out and powerbomb, and Lena Cross, who does a jackhammer. I mean, like you said, Joe, get all the belts on these women immediately. We made the Young Bucks. They had the Young Bucks match we talked about earlier. The Dogs had a match with 3 enhancement talents. Finney got the match with his overkill. And they announced also Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir at Revolution. No one allowed at ringside. 1-on-1 only. So that'll be good as well. And then main event was Claudio versus Takeshita for not for Claudio's belt. It was a non-title match. Takeshita did get the win. The go home or the closing straight here, let's say, was very, very strong. Very, very good. And then we had face off with Moxley and Takeshita. Hechicero made his appearance as well. And Takeshita said, "No, don't attack Moxley. I don't need it. And then just a brawl broke out, and people were fighting everywhere. And my God, they're trying to separate them. Tony Schiavone was saying, we're out of time. We'll see you next time." Very, very strong closing. So that was your Collision. Another good show.
Very good show. God, the TV's so good this year.
Lucky us. It's mad to think a year and a bit ago, the TV was so bad that I wrote a probably equally bad TV script to be like, look, fuck, do something. And now the TV is something I look forward to every week. Movie. Oh no! Before we go to movies, we got a preview.
Just a little preview of Revolution. I've got the card here. Don't worry about it. 10 matches announced so far. I expect we might get one or two more, but we got Ricochet defending the national champ. Remember that national championship?
Yes.
In a 21-man blackjack battle royal. So I'm thinking a lot of 2 points there for the Fantasy League. People losing in that one.
Sorry. It will be 4 points. Double points for the pay-per-view. We agreed.
1 point.
Oh, sorry, 1 point for a loss.
Appearance for
You're right.
So, well, interesting to see who's in that one.
Blackjack Battle Royal, do we know what that means? Is that all the diamonds come out?
Yeah, 5 at a time, and then the Joker is that last. So, I don't know if we get a surprise as the Joker, or if this is just a sort of filler, but I don't know. Interesting.
I don't know. This national championship is turning me into the Joker.
Could be good. We got Big Boom AJ versus.
Well, I see we have Big Boom AJ versus TBA here. I assumed that Big Boom AJ was just going to be in the Battle Royal.
Do you reckon?
I mean, they haven't announced a match for him, so I assume that's what it's going to be.
We'll see.
I would assume that match will take up the majority of the pre-show. It's a 1 hour pre-show, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he wins the national title and then travels the country defending it in Costco car parks.
I love that. In our fantasy league, number 1 wrestler of the year is Big Boom AJ. Why did no one draft him like it?
Title defenses every week. We have Tyler's Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir in the Everyone is Banned from Ringside singles match. So
should be very good.
Excited for that one. The triple threat, the Don Callis family versus Jet Speed and their new partner, biggest draw in the world, Mr.
Rest of the year.
Who's in a random trios match. Well done, Tony. We're not getting in a singles. Pretty good.
Mystico versus Big Boom AJ. There you go.
Oh, no, that's too good. Save that for Wembley. Again, we get...
AJ has a passport. I don't know if we can go to Wembley.
Again, we get Okada versus Mystico, but in a fucking throwaway, trios match. Can we not have 2 of the greatest wrestlers of all time in an actual, match?
Yeah.
Tekla defending Statlander, 2 out of 3 falls, so... expect Tekla to that one, but it should be good. Brody King Swerve, I think that'll be very good.
Yes.
Middle of the match. Andrade versus Bandido. I think that should be another very good match.
I might be taking my shirt off during that one.
Oh, pants coming off during that one. No time limit. John Moxley versus Konosuke Heshta.
Yes, please. Where do I sign up for?
God damn it, Tony. These 4.5-star matches, please. Too many. And then FTR versus the Young Bucks, which is interesting because
FTR is heels for the first time.
Yeah, the matches they had previously, I just don't think they kind of necessarily lived up to the expectations. But we'll see. It's been a while. Maybe this will be a banger. I want to see the pay-per-view Bucks back. They've had so many good matches throughout AEW, but it's been in sort of up and down. I'd love to just see them back having great matches. And then, of course, the main event, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Hangman Adam Page. Last chance Texas death match, as it's described here on Wikipedia.
Yes.
This is for the AEW World Championship. And apparently, if Hangman Page loses, he will never challenge for the AEW Men's World Championship ever again. So, I'm sure that will also be absolutely fantastic because Hangman into death matches is always brilliant, and an MJF in any kind of gimmick match is tremendous as well. So, yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, I'm looking on the AEW pay-per-view website here, the actual AEW website. No mention of a Big Boom AJ match officially announced. I know he said it on his Instagram.
Maybe it's the Battle Royal then.
That's my suspicion. We will see.
As long as it's not the Joker. If they get to the Joker and out comes fucking the Rizzler.
Oh, God. Rizzler would be the Penguin. They only have 8 matches on here, plus the Battle Royal makes 9. So we only have 8 here. Keep in mind, we still have a week of TV, so things could be added. On the graphic for the world title match, Joe, there is no mention of the stipulation. It just says Texas Death Match.
Well, we'll see.
Anyway,
we'll see.
That show looks fucking insane.
I
think that is the best on paper show they've ever put on.
Oh, but we say that every time.
No, but Joe.
No, Paul Pie.
Tekla Statlander, 2 or 3 falls. Brody King Swerve. Andrade Bandido. Moxley Keshta. MJF Hang. I mean,
I know
if you qualify a show on total number of potential 5-star matches.
I know
they've got 7 on here. Which is insane. Where's the toilet break match? Shafir Storm. I mean, that's going to be fucking great.
Just shit and piss yourself in your seat. That's the only answer.
Did on Collision, mate. What was that? Do that when I'm having a podcast. What's the time? We had a whole segment about it the other week. I think that, I know we say it all the time. I think that is, I'm like Mike's class, like the worst movie I've ever seen. Bah, bah, bah. But I think that's on paper the best show. So let's see if it lives up. I will say, here's the sad news. I won't be watching it live. Watch it until Monday morning, because I will be watching the Oscars instead. I know that sounds like stupidity, right? And I agree. Given the choice, I would watch Revolution over the Oscars too. But my brother is going to watch the Oscars as well with friends. And so I would have to, he would then watch Revolution also. We said, look, we'll just watch the Oscars that night and we'll watch Revolution. So it'll be a Monday morning is anyway a bank holiday here.
Yeah.
So I have it off work, so I'm going to avoid spoilers, and Monday morning I'm going to watch the paper. But I am a little sad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I've been So speaking of the Oscars,
let's get into some movies.
I did finish watching.
Caught up?
I'm caught up. I've watched all the nominees for, again, what I consider the top
ones. Yeah.
The top Oscar. I mean, I'm not watching Best International Short. I'm not watching Best fucking Hair. But I'm watching, Best Farce. Best International Hair goes to, would have gone to Aaron Wolf, and then you fucking shaved it off. Oscars 2026. Let me pull up the gimmicks here. Because I don't have my formal lists made, but I will go through and give you sort of some thoughts, okay? So 3 movies to review this week, all of them Oscar nominees.
Yeah.
So I'll go through them quickly. Train Dreams with Joel Edgerton. Yeah. Very, very enjoyable. I would say a little simple, almost to its detriment, but like very, very effective. I thought he was very good in it as advertised. Sort of he felt like a man stuck in time as the world around him moves forward, and that's kind of what the story is. I think he was very good. I think in a very, very small role, I think William H. Macy was very good for the brief time he was in the movie. Felicity Jones, again, sort of more of a fleeting performance than I thought was going to be. I feel like this is the kind of movie that gets Oscar nominated. I'm not sure if it will have a huge amount of sticking power. I don't know if it's a movie I'll really remember a lot of in a year's time. But while watching it, I thought it was a nice little sort of slower, character piece. Very nicely shot, nice atmosphere to it. It is the kind of movie that if someone asked you kind of what happens in it, you would have maybe 2 bullet points, and then and then the movie ended. But I did like it a lot. And I thought Edgerton, again, very, very good. It is just one of those kind of movies that's a little slower. It's not necessarily about what happens per se. It's about, again, this character, this man, and there is, I mean, I don't want to undersell it because there are very, very important things that happen in the movie's plot. There are very, very big developments. But that's not necessarily the focus or the point of the movie. But I did like it a lot. So I'll say Train Dreams, nice and short as well. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Simple but effective. I think that's how I'd sum it up. And then we closed out the Oscar watching with 2 stone cold bangers. So, I mean, happy I kept these for last. It just kind of worked out that way. It was Just an Accident, which is, funny enough, they're in the news a lot at the moment. An Iranian film directed by Jafar Pahani, who's a very well-known Iranian filmmaker and actor who's been in historically a lot of conflict with Iranian authorities, very anti-regime, anti-Iranian authority. Had a lot of legal issues with them. And so this is his latest, and it's a very, very universal story, even though the plot has, on a surface level, very specific things taken from the location and culture in which the film takes place. I think this is a movie that within like 5 years, you're going to see an English language adaptation. Because it's the kind of story you haven't seen yet, but the themes and the way that the plot unrolls is so universal. It just immediately struck me as like, this is someone's gonna Universal are gonna get the English language rights to this. They're gonna remake it with fucking Glenn Powell and Zoe Saldana, and it's gonna be a really, really inferior version in which they change the ending and they do a load of shit. But this just happened to be the second to last movie that I had watched. I had no expectations for it, and I absolutely loved it. It's the kind of story that had me at the edge of my seat throughout. I'll give you the elevator pitch here. So by the way, Train Dreams just tells a story. Joel Egerton is like a kind of slightly nomadic, not really a nomad that he has the home with the family, but he's just kind of a man who goes and goes to work on the train lines or whatever. And as I said, there's feelings towards, there's like a Chinese worker who gets thrown off a bridge, and then that kind of haunts his dreams. And as I said, what's going on with the world around him, not only the forward movement of the world, but even currently, he seems very isolated from. He's like a man very much uninterested in the outside world, outside of his immediate tiny circle. So that's Train Dreams. It Was Just an Accident is about a man with his family driving home at night, little girl in the back, pregnant wife. They hit a dog and they pull in to a local mechanic when the car breaks down. And the mechanic say, come in. The next actual place is like 2 kilometers away, but we can try fix your car.
Yeah.
So they're talking. And one of the mechanics there hears the guy who was driving the car has like a prosthetic leg, has a very remarkable like squeak to it when he walks. And he recognizes the noise as being the same noise that belonged to the prosthetic leg of the man in the prison where he was held, who tormented him for years. So this mechanic was someone who was unjustly held and tortured in an Iranian prison. And so he thinks this is the guy, kidnaps him, and then the movie goes from there. Yeah. So of course, from the outset, you don't know, is this the guy? Is this not the guy? That's kind of the mystery of the movie, and there are twists and turns throughout. Really, really strong stuff. I mean, the movie had me on the edge of my seat throughout. Great performances as well. The lead guy, Vahid Mobasseri, very, very good. Very likable as well. And the movie is at times thrilling. The movie is at times kind of darkly comedic. But I was blown away. I went in like not knowing anything about, like totally blind, not knowing anything about the movie. And I found it absolutely top notch. Nice. It is nominated for Best Original Screenplay. So if you do come across it on your, I don't know where it would be, Mubi or wherever, it was just an accident. It's only an hour 40-ish as well. So it's quite a quick in and out, but it's very, very good. It did win the Palme d'Or in 2025, by the way. So this isn't like a hidden gem. This is a very acclaimed movie. It was just an accident. I thought it was fucking brilliant.
Tremendous.
And then we go to the one I kept for last. It's Sentimental Value. Starring Stellan Skarsgård, Renata Reinsve, and Dakota Fanning, or Elle Fanning, not Dakota, the other one.
Elle Fanning, yeah.
It is Elle Fanning, sorry. Dakota Kai, you mentioned earlier, Charlie. Also fucking tremendous. I thought it was a really, Sentimental Value is about a sort of not struggling actress, struggling in a different sense, let's say, an actress who's going through some hard times, not necessarily professionally, but maybe personally. Her mother passes away, and the father comes back into her life, her estranged father, who, as it transpires, owns the house. It's been in the family for generations and generations. And the movie is, for the most part, about their estrangement and their, generational trauma is kind of, I would say, the main theme of the movie, which is interspersed itself with, the life of filmmakers. I mean, filmmaking is something that's used very often in the movie to convey some of the themes. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the performances were really, really, top notch. I thought it was a fantastic looking movie, some really thoughtful and impressive cinematography. I thought the pacing of the movie was really good as well. In that it is, for all intents and purposes, a sort of what would otherwise be a meandering family drama, but it does keep moving along at a tip. Also at times, very, very slight dark comedy, but not a huge amount. It is definitely more on the drama side. But yeah, I was again absolutely impressed. I mean, top stuff. So
very good.
Two really, really excellent movies there to close out the Oscars. Do you want to hit us with your review before we go then to the Oscar?
Yeah, I watched Wuthering Heights, not the new Emerald Fennell one. It's one that's on Channel 4 streaming. That's made by Andrea Arnold in 2011, I think it was. So I've never seen a Wuthering Heights adaptation before. I haven't read the book. I only know the Kate Bush song, to be honest.
So sorry, this isn't the Emerald Fennell, wasn't it?
No. This is an adaptation from 2011. Andrea Arnold is a fantastic director. So I don't know how faithful it is, but it seems like a faithful adaptation because I mean, essentially the plot is and this has been a bone of contention with the recent adaptation, is that in this version, Heathcliff is this young man, or in the start of the film, a boy who is kind of adopted by this family in Yorkshire. And he's a young black boy, and it's kind of insinuated that he was like a stowaway that arrived in like Liverpool and the docks back in the 1800s. Yeah. He's kind of found wandering around the moors, and they take him in, and it's all about, him, not how he's treated, kind of the racial attitudes of the time. But he kind of develops this relationship with Cacti, who's the daughter of the family that takes him in, and it's all about their kind of not exactly forbidden romance, but almost like an unspoken love. And so obviously in the Emerald Fennell they cast Jacob Elordi, who is a very tall white man.
7 feet tall.
I saw some people online imply that, like, oh, well, in those days, Jacob Elordi would have seemed, foreign and olive skinned to like people from England. I'm like, you're taking the fucking piss. But like, what? This country, I think everyone's like pasty or something. So yeah, interesting, that one. But this one, I mean, it's impeccably directed. Like, Andrea Arnold's fantastic director. Yeah. It's told in such a really claustrophobic way. Like, the first kind of half an hour is all kind of close-ups and handheld cameras, and you feel like you're kind of lost on the moors almost. It's really claustrophobic. Yeah. But really, really reflects, I think, the story and the emotions and the point of the story. I would say, like, as then you get a time jump halfway through where you get the kind of older Heathcliff and Cacti. I actually feel like the kids were stronger performances than the elder ones. That's the only kind of issue I maybe had with the film. I was very invested in the two kids, and then when it jumped to kind of the adult versions, they weren't quite as engaging. Didn't quite believe it.
Chapter 2, probably.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, fantastically kind of well-made film, but it is just relentlessly bleak. I mean, there's nothing, there's no relief in it for 2 hours and 5 minutes. It is just a constantly sort of miserable intense, but it tells the story that I think was written by Emily Bronte, and this is what the story was. So there you go. Yeah, probably won't check out that new one because I don't really like Emma Fenner stuff. But...
Do you not like really, really outrageously sexy people?
Oh, I did say to Michelle at one point, this would be better if I had a bit of Charlie XCX over the top of it. Just to like a bit of like electro pop over the top.
Your lordy doesn't say girl, so confusing.
Sometimes. Yeah, so that's what I saw with Dora.
Lordy.
Oscar picks? Do you want to run through?
Oscar picks. Yeah, let's run through them. Not necessarily predictions. I can do predictions. This would be more so like what you think? What should win if you got a brain in your bones? If you're not Paul Scholes. Best animated feature film. Put the holiday money on K-pop Demon Hunters here.
Yeah.
My pick is Little Amelie or the Character of Rain. I think that was my favorite of the rest. Arco, also pretty good. Zootopia 2, watchable. K-pop Demon Hunters, watchable. Elio, a bit crap. So there's your rundown there. But I think Little Amelie or the Character of Rain was my favorite one. Best writing, adapted screenplay. We got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Train Dreams. Screenplay wise, I would probably lean Begonia, maybe?
I was thinking that either Hamnet or Begonia for me. But I did enjoy Begonia.
Train Dreams, as I said, very nice movie. I don't know that either the narrative or the dialogue really jumped out to me.
Yeah,
at any point.
Yeah, I think some of these other films are just very performance or director.
Frankenstein as well. Frankenstein, to me, much more like a visual movie.
That's the problem I have with the screenplay awards is they never give it to the best screenplay. They just give it to the film that doesn't win best picture. Well, also screenplay. So it's like, well, so really the best screenplay. I don't know.
I would say Begonia or Hamlet for me. One Battle After Another would be in the mix, but I would go Begonia on that one. In terms of what will win, maybe One Battle After Another. It strikes me, as you said, had a movie that might not win Best Picture, but might win here. Original screenplay, Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, Sinners. 5 very good options.
I got Sinners there for me.
Sinners for you. I might lean Blue Moon there, actually.
Haven't seen that yet.
Blue Moon, very play-like, which obviously means the dialogue is ripping at 100 miles an hour. It Was Just an Accident as well. Like I said, really, really strong narrative. I'll give my pick to It Was Just an Accident. How about that?
Okay.
But if I was to pick one that I think will win, maybe Sentimental Value here. I'm not sure. Best Actress in a Supporting Role. We've got 2 from Sentimental Value. We have Elle Fanning and Inga Ibsdottir Liljas, who's the sister in Sentimental Value. Amy Madigan, Weapons. Wunmi Mosaku from Sinners, and Tiana Taylor, One Battle After Another. I don't know that any of those are jumping out to me as obviously the best. I saw Amy Madigan kind of among the favorites with that, which I was really surprised by. I know a lot of people liked Weapons more than me. But even within that, was she like Oscar worthy in that movie? Okay. I'll go Elle Fanning of those. If I was to pick one that I think will win, I'll say she's my favorite, let's say. Who I think will, maybe Tiana Taylor, I think will probably win there. Or, as I said, Amy Madigan, for some reason, has been mentioned. I don't know why she didn't, but maybe she will. Best Actress in a Leading Role. Jessie Buckley, Rose Byrne, Kate Hudson, Renate Reinsve, Emma Stone. All great performances in very different ways. I think Jessie Buckley should and will win here. I think she's a million miles.
I'll go Bucko.
You got to go Bucko. I think Emma Stone and Begonia is like really great as well. Renate Reinsve in Sentimental Value. In it way less than I thought she was going to be, given she's the lead. She kind of disappears for a lot of bits of it.
It was an ensemble. So I go Inga for Best Supporting Actress. I thought she was, especially as like in a supporting role. She supported the lead. Like that's the job of supporting actress. She did that the best, I think. I'd go for Inga Bucko for actress.
Ingo. Kate Hudson, I really liked it, Song Blue. But again, it was like a very likable performance, which doesn't often win you the Oscar, unfortunately. So we'll go Bucko there on both. Best actor in a supporting role, Benicio del Toro, One Battle After Another. I know we both loved him in that movie. Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein. Not a hope in hell, brother. Sorry about it. Frankenstein. A good movie. One of the more overrated movies of the year, I feel like. Delroy Lindo, Sinners. Very good. Stellan Skarsgård, Sentimental Value. But unfortunately, this is another Bucko situation. Sean Penn for the pick and Sean Penn for the win, please.
I'm going to go Benicio.
You're going to go Benicio? I'll go Sean Penn. I think Sean Penn in One Battle After Another is one of the best.
I think it's like in a wrestling sense where, you've got two wrestlers.
Yeah.
One who's doing the work to put the other one over. That to me is Benicio. He's doing the work to make everyone else better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why.
I mean, you could argue that Sean Penn should have been nominated for like leading role almost.
Yeah. He's kind of a halfway between. Yeah.
Speaking of leading role, you've got Timothée Chalamet, who, trust me, was a very close runner-up to Bozo of the Week this week. Oh, the opera and ballet are shit. You square-headed idiot. Shut up and don't speak anymore. I think Timothée Chalamet thinks he's way more charming than he actually is.
Yeah. Way more talented. I've gone off.
Granted, I do like him Mary Supreme a lot. Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. Wagner Moura, Secret Agent. I mean, for me, Ethan Hawke is the best of the five here from Blue Moon. I've seen Michael B. Jordan kind of step into the favourite spot here from Chalamet. Something in the back of my head still tells me they're going to give it to Chalamet. I think this is kind of like the Jeremy Strong situation of last year, where he was like clearly the best and they didn't give it to him. They gave it to your man from Succession. What's he followed up that with? Oh, more amazing roles, I bet. Oh no, nothing.
I'll go Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
I haven't seen Blue Moon, but he's like Ethan Hawke.
I like Ethan Hawke. He's in those midnight movies, Sunset. They're class. Best directing, Chloe Zhao, Josh Safdie, PTA, Joachim Trier, Ryan Coogler. I will go here, my favorite. In terms of directing, I'm trying to think who put their stamp most on kind of the movie that, the output was like, that's them. I might go Trier here, actually. I might go Sentimental Value on this one.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Either him or Zhao, but I might lean towards Trier.
I might go Trier.
I think PTA will actually win it.
Or Coogler. I don't know.
I'll go Trier.
I'll go Trier. Yeah. And then Best Picture, the wonderful Begonia, the wonderful Hamlet, the wonderful Mary Supreme, the wonderful One Battle After Another, the wonderful Secret Agent, the wonderful Sentimental Value, the wonderful Sinners, the wonderful Train Dreams. Oh, and F1 and Snyder there as well. F1, the big pile of shite, the 2 hour 40 pile of absolute trash. For me, I predicted, you remember in our prediction show, Sinners to win, and Sinners is, I think, as we speak, the favourite to win. If you can believe it. I'm going to stick with Sinners. I think, for me here, when it comes to Mary Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners, they're my three favourite movies of the year. So you can kind of split hairs on which one it would be. I'll go Sinners, because I think horror is kind of a genre that doesn't really get appreciated. Yeah. When it comes to award season, and Sinners was a bloody good one. So I'll go Sinners on that one.
I'll go One Battle After Another.
No, F1.
I think as an all-rounder, that's probably the best.
Yeah, I would give F1 the golden raspberry for biggest waste of 2 hour 40 of my entire life.
The golden shit out of an ass.
The golden turd. And then to close out our lovely show here, we do have TV and games to talk about. So I will say Scrubs this week, once again, I found very watchable. It ain't blowing me away. It maybe isn't as razor sharp or absolute, moving 100 miles an hour like the original was. But I find it funny. I find it likable. I think the new characters, for the most part, aren't duds. I wouldn't say they're top notch or as good as what we had, but for a kind of nostalgia show that really only has 3 of the characters and the rest are kind of filled in by new cast, I think it's as good as you could realistically expect it to be. There was one bit that had me laughing, and I'm not someone I'm someone who will watch a show stony faced and think, that was quite funny. Scrubs had me laughing. So it's not blow away. It's not amazing, but it's again, for someone with really low expectations, it is fine. It is fine. What about yourself?
Just the one show, Small Profits, which is a new show written and directed by Mackenzie Crook on the BBC. It's kind of, if you've seen The Detectorists, very similar sensibility, except this is about a slightly oddball character in the north of England whose wife kind of mysteriously disappeared years ago, and he's kind of not really let go. And his dad is Michael Palin, who lives in a home, and his dad introduces him to this idea of growing these homunculi, these kind of small creatures that can predict the future and answer questions. It sounds a bit weird. Very good. If you like Detectorists and you like that comedy, and this will tickle the same kind of funny bone. It's kind of funny, a little bit weird, offbeat characters. I think Mackenzie Crook's really kind of interesting. He has his style that he's done a few times now. He also did Wurzel Gummidge kind of revival for the BBC as well, which was similar kind of thing. I think it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it's just it's nice to have someone who has a real style and a way he likes to do things, and you just get that style and that approach just kind of unfiltered, right? It's like, okay, we're going to let him make 6 episodes, and he gets to do the exact sense of humor, exact kind of approach, the kind of actors he wants to cast, type of actors that probably wouldn't get cast in other stuff because they're not the typical type of actor you'd see in like a BBC comedy. It's a bit unusual casting, but it's just really nice. It's 6 episodes, great soundtrack. Mackenzie Crook, of all the people involved in The Office, he's gone on to make the best project since then. In my opinion. Yeah, low bar to be fair, but he's really doing nice stuff. So yeah, would definitely check that out.
There's not a 5-minute Coldplay interlude.
No, and neither does Mackenzie Crook play.
When you feel so sad,
disabled person.
Wife is dead.
Yeah. Oh, my dead wife. Every 5 minutes. No, that doesn't happen. It was very good. A few video games for us.
A few video games. I'm playing Metroid Prime 4, which is, you might remember the game that Barry played for a while and then said, I can take no more of this. I haven't reached that point yet. I'm a dungeon further into it than I spoke about last week. Definitely, it feels a little half-baked. It doesn't exactly scratch the itch of its predecessor in terms of kind of complexity of the level design. It does feel a little dumbed down. It does feel a little lesser, which is mad given how long the development time of this game was. But for the most part, I'm still enjoying it. I'm halfway through. For anyone who's listening who's played, I'm halfway through the ice belt stage. Which is for the third key. So I think I'm probably about a third of the way through the game. And it's still, it's still fine. Like I said, it's just Metroid Prime 1 was just like a masterpiece of design that, if you went to your favorite restaurant, you went to the Bountiful Cow in London, and you went for that fucking amazing steak and chips, and they come out with a McDonald's hamburger, and you go, the fuck is this? Like, I still like it, don't get me wrong, but it isn't the fucking prime ribeye that I was expecting. There's an element of that to it. I don't think it's yet, and obviously this can change, I don't think it's yet as bad as Barry made out. Obviously it can become that. Maybe he got I don't know at what point he tapped out on it, but you know, it's okay, and I'm sticking with it so far, but I can see, you know, reviews that kind of had it in this kind of low 7 out of 10 range. I can kind of see myself aligned with that. It's certainly not the rebirth of the franchise I was hoping it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of, I'm playing Pokemon Leaf Green, which is the Game Boy Advance Pokemon game.
Nice.
All the way back 20 odd years ago, which they re-released on Switch. Just a straight port, no updated graphics or quality of life improvements or anything. They just, here, the Game Boy Advance game on Switch, that'll be 20 Europeans, please. Now, I had no interest in playing it, but my friend Sean said, we're playing this Pokemon game, right? We're going to be playing this, right? I already bought it, so you're going to be buying it too. We're going to play it, we're going to battle, we're going to trade. I said, well, I didn't really have any plans to, but since you want it, I guess I will. And it is the most box standard Pokemon experience that's all you have. It's fine. I mean, it's whatever, you know. You get them Pikachu in it, and you do a little fucking battle and all that, and you know, whatever. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
This artwork is great. Right? Lovely stuff. Lovely artwork stuff. You know, and I enjoy a Pokemon game, but I don't know. There's just something about this Game Boy Advance version of, which is itself kind of a remake of the original Red and Blue. Which just, I don't know. There's just not much to it. It's just kind of, you know, do the old shit again, I guess. Okay. So that's what I've been playing anyway.
Nice.
Nothing else on the horizon, I don't think, games-wise or anything. That Gorillaz album came out. I know you really didn't like the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Which I did, but I believe this new one is being referred to as a return to form. So I will be giving that a chance at some point. But I haven't yet. So we will see. So that's everything, I think, for this week. Joe, shall we
That's going to do it.
home?
That's going to do it.
Go home, brother. Go home, brother.
Time to go home. That's going to do it. If you want to keep up with all the various goings on, we don't post on social media anymore because, quite frankly, it's all shit. That's dead. This is our channel of communication. The podcast.
This and Barry's Discord.
Yes, Barry's got a Discord if you want to jump in there.
Joe ain't in, so don't go in expecting to see your favourite celebrity, Joe Towner, because he ain't there.
Ooh, I haven't been invited, so that's fine.
I'll sound Joe.
No, it's fine. Don't want to.
I think I got lost.
Some of the best people couldn't come, so that's fine. So follow us on there. Follow us on, we got stuff on YouTube,
Instagram,
Spotify, YouTube, all over that.
Oh, sorry, nice. Yeah, we're on there.
If you want to follow the Fantasy League, you can have a little look at the spreadsheet on ChairShotPodcast.com. If you want to email us, and we love getting emails. We love hearing from people. It doesn't. You can tell us anything. It doesn't have to be wrestling related. It doesn't have to be film related. It can be something completely off the wall. You got something you want to promote. If you've got your own show that you're a listener and you want to
it's been a while since we had a top-notch quiz sent in. We just get really good quizzes.
Yeah.
No, it's not about. I'm lazy.
If you've got an idea for a quiz, then you can't be bothered to, you don't know anyone who wants to do it. If you were
off work sick and you're watching ITV and there's a fucking quiz on, you're like, what is this?
Just rip off that idea and tell us about it. You can email us there through the contact form. Other than that, we will be back next week. Barry will be back with a report from Germany.
A Monday show reviewing Revolution and the Oscars.
Yes, Revolution, Oscars.
So don't expect the show on Monday. It won't be there yet. In fact, when you are updating your RSS feed, I'll probably only be watching the pay-per-view. So the show will be a day late next week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd get a Revolution preview and an Oscars preview. How shit would that be?
Don't be shit. Yes, we'll be back next week. So it leaves it to me to say thank you and goodbye. Thank you for listening. And goodbye from Paul.
Goodbye from me. Goodbye.